Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Today I'm going to talk about a few things, almost all XRP related here. I'm going to talk about XRP perhaps heading in an upward direction in price according to a technical analyst. I'm going to show you a chart on that. We've got a word from Anthony Pompliano that he's courting a group of investors in charge of $3 trillion, trying to get that invested into crypto, so that's fascinating. And I'm also going to share with you how it's fun to have a stupid name like Moon Lambo. I'll get to that towards the tail end of the video, but it's okay to have a little fun with it. And by the way, I am well aware that my name is stupid. As it turns out, I have a sense of humor that is by design. So anyway, before we get going here though, if you would please gently tap that like button and go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. That's a good idea. It'll be the best thing you do today, the most productive thing. All right, check this out. I want to share this with you first, and many of you have probably seen what's on the screen here right now. There's this tweet from Rand Neuner. He's the host of that CNBC show, what's he call it? Crypto Trading? It might actually literally just be called Crypto Trading, if I'm mistaken. I apologize, Rand Neuner. But anyway, he tweeted this out. This is October 22nd, 2017. And there's this guy named Greg Shoen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Greg Shoen. We'll just go with that, though. And if you haven't seen it, let me just pull this up here. And this is a copy of an original tweet. And this is real. This is actually real. This is a tweet from May 16, 2011. And this guy named Greg, he tweeted out, "I wish I had kept my 1,700 Bitcoin at 6 cents instead of selling them at 30 cents. So he bought it 6 cents and sold it 30 cents. Then he continues, now that they're worth $8. So he was bemoaning the fact that he had sold too soon and he could have gotten $8 each out of his Bitcoin. And so I'll tell you why I'm bringing that up in just a second. But anyway, so Rand Neuner, he tweeted out, "Hey, Greg Shoen, just checking in. How you feeling about the tweet below these days?" And so I don't remember the exact price of Bitcoin in October of 2017, but I'm guessing it must have been at that point at least around 5,000 or 6,000 each, right? I'm pretty sure it's roughly around there. I'm confident because it wasn't until the end of November I know it hit 10,000 for the first time ever. And then, oh, this is actually kind of funny. This is a little GIF. If you're not driving, take a look at that. That's a fun response to that. That's fair. But Greg actually responded, and this is October 26, 2017. And he wrote, "I mean, in hindsight, I should have just dumped the coins into a paper wallet and forgot about them for a few years." And then he put a smiley face on it. And I'd seen other responses from him, too, because as this tweet went viral back towards the end of the 2017 run-up, all sorts of outlets were trying to contact him and be like, what's this guy's deal like? How is he handling this crazy run-up and how much money he must have lost? Or, well, not lost, but never actually gained because he sold so soon. And he's always said really positive things like, well, yeah, I mean, there's the hindsight thing like he cited here. And, you know, nobody has a crystal ball, of course, so I don't blame the guy. But, you know, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because there's been so much pessimism around XRP lately and the price with it. And I'm never going to give you buying or selling advice because, look, I'm not a financial analyst. I have no background like that. I'm just an enthusiast in the community, and I think that I have a handle on what's going on here. Just so I have my own personal opinions, which I'm always happy to share with you. Just make sure that, again, you don't buy or sell because of anything that I'm saying here. But I think that this asset class is going to be, I really believe this. The asset class is probably at some point going to be valued in the trillions, and there are a lot of people much smarter than I. Not that I'm a dope. I think I'm intelligent enough. But there are a lot of very intelligent people that are, into finance, crypto finance as a career choice, and they firmly believe that crypto is going to have a market cap in the trillions as well. And I think that along the way, you're going to have a ton of people, and Greg was just one of them early on, that just sell way too soon. And so that's, for me, like, just keep your eye on the ball. That's just my humble opinion on that particular case. But just as ridiculous as this seems here, and you might think, oh my God, $8, of course, you got to sell, fine. And he made a nice little profit from it technically. He just could have been a bazillionaire had he held on longer. But, this is going to happen, I think, with XRP too. I really do believe that we're in such early days that, if I'm still running this channel like a decade or two from now, that'd be neat if I am. We'll see how things unfold. But if I am, it would really be neat to like revisit some topics like this and just be like, wow, look how it actually panned out. Because like XRP, man, if it continues to be adopted, there's just no way in my mind that it's going to stay at 40 cents. I think you're going to have a number of parabolic runs over some period of time, and it's always going to have higher lows. And historically, that's pretty well what's happened here. So, and same for Bitcoin. And of course, as Bitcoin keeps going up, that's going to help XRP as well. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of stories like this. So this Greg guy, again, you know, he's just one man. But you're going to see people within the XRP community that'll have, I'm sure they put out tweets very similar to this about buying and selling at particular prices, and I bet they're going to be uncovered in due time, especially, and they'll get highlighted and go viral at some point as time passes and XRP becomes worth that much more. So, you know, I don't like think anybody's stupid for selling, because you gotta seriously, let's be adults here. You need to de-risk as you deem appropriately, and if it was too much for you to hold on when, you know, in this case is Greg guy, if it's too much to hold on beyond the 30-cent range, and you're like, hey, I just need to realize this profit so I can sleep at night, I respect that. I really do. I genuinely do. So I'm not going to laugh at this guy just for selling. I'm just pointing out that there are a lot of people that just by nature, they're not going to be able to hold on, and that's probably most humans. That's not going to be me, though. I will never sell all of my XRP. I'm going to keep it on the sidelines. It's also not my retirement plan. You know, I'm running a company, and then there's that, and you know, there's proper investing by traditional means, which is super important. So for me, this will just be icing on the cake if this, you know, crypto goes the way I want it to. But that's the way I'm treating it, and I just thought I'd share like my personal stance on it with you. All right, and next tweet. This is from Jack the Rippler, and this is not a brand new video clip here, but I wanted to bring it up anyway. What's this guy's name here? I can't remember. Maybe I can fast forward. Let me get him on the screen so you can look at him if you're not driving. Yeah, this guy right here. He was talking about how, because he was asked about JPM coin, you know, JP Morgan's coin, and you know, what's that mean for like Bitcoin? And then one of the other people sitting around this table here said, hey, what about Bitcoin and Ripple? And he said, well, especially as it pertains to Ripple, you know, understand that this coin, the JP Morgan coin, is only going to work within their own closed little network, and so I don't see them as really competing. And he also said that he didn't believe that the average investor is going to differentiate between a stable coin like JP Morgan's coin and Bitcoin, for example, which I think is probably accurate. I think the average investor is going to have no clue and not be that knowledgeable to understand the nuances between the two. And so that's why when stuff like this happens, when JP Morgan announces they're launching a coin, and even though there are going to be those FUD articles that are like, hey, this is the Ripple killer, this and that. Ultimately, what it's doing is it's adding credibility to the space, I believe. So I still view them as positives, even if it results in a bunch of FUD articles about how it's going to kill, you know, XRP and Ripple, which is just silly nonsense. But I'm all for it, and so it's good to see that some people get this. This is a very pro-crypto gentleman in general. I've seen him on CNBC a number of times, and I tend to agree with the types of things that he's saying as it pertains to Bitcoin, XRP, and other crypto at large. So I just thought I'd kind of share that with you. But it's just another opinion that's sharing. It's the same mindset that I share, is that these walled gardens not really competing with Ripple, and all these walled gardens, their own little private networks, are going to be connected in some way, because there is no interoperability, because you've got JP Morgan coin, and then you're going to have, of course, Goldman Sachs coin. They're looking into launching that. That they came out recently. The CEO was talking about that. And these two financial networks are not going to interoperate. So you're always going to need a bridge currency, and XRP can do that because it's decentralized. There is no central authority, and you know, it has a true, genuine market value. It's not backed by you know, any fiat currency or a basket of fiat currencies, and so that's the reason that's possible in the first place. All right, now take a look at this. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video here, as far as the price action, and this is a TradingView post from, looks like it was 11 hours ago, so it's pretty new. It says, how much strength do you have in a bullish divergent pattern? And so I'm not a technical analyst. I like to, when people have their own predictions and stuff like that, I think it's a really fun topic, so I'm always going to share it with you, and that's what I'm doing here today. This one doesn't have a price associated with it, but it's a technical analysis that's pointing in the direction of, hey, XRP is going to be going up in short order, and so it's positive news. You know, I just, the way I look at it is, I'm going to keep following these guys as I bring them up and see who gets stuff more right than they get wrong. And even if they get it wrong, well, whatever. I find it fascinating, at least. I always like looking this stuff up, and I figure if I do, hopefully some of you out there listening kind of want to hear about this stuff as well, because, I really do. And you know why it is? Look, as neat as the technology is with Ripple, let's be real. It's a lot more fun following this stuff if you have skin in the game, and I do. I bought a bunch of XRP, and it's all relative when I say a bunch. You might think it's not much, or you might think it's a lot, because I'm not going to say how much I have. But to me, it's a reasonable amount. But it makes it a lot more fun to follow this stuff. And would I be that excited if I weren't invested in XRP? Would I be that excited about fixing a fractured banking system, which on a daily basis I'm not having negative customer experiences. Like I personally am not moving money around the world on a daily basis. So I think the answer is no. I wouldn't be interested as much outside this, but that's okay. It's a lot more exciting, when you got something in it. But anyway, so the comment that the creator of this particular chart made below is, it says, these patterns seem to have strength and play out often in Bitcoin. How about XRP? And so since I'm not a technical analyst, I had to Google, okay, what's a bullish divergent pattern? I literally put that into Google. And it basically has to do with, it's just an indication that, there's a seemingly the downward trend in price. It's an indicator that it's coming to an end. And so I'm not going to pretend that I know anything beyond that. I just told you I Googled that. So I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. But for people that do know what they're talking about, again, like I said, I'm going to keep sharing the information so at least you have it. You can do with it what you will. But, consider this. So here's another article on the topic of price, and the next one's going to be about Bitcoin. But again, to whatever degree, cryptocurrencies move in tandem price-wise with Bitcoin, so this is relevant to us as XRP holders, right? And this is from ambcrypto.com. The piece titled, and this is from today, Bitcoin speculated to hit new all-time highs on the back of continued uptrends. Hey, positive news. I like it. Cool. All right, and it starts. Bitcoin's price fluctuations have been taken as a sign for cryptocurrency resurgence from its seemingly ongoing crypto winter, which was further validated with Bitcoin's recent $13,000 breach and the following surge in its market cap. Supporting this trend, crypto enthusiasts have openly opined that the world's largest cryptocurrency will continue its upward momentum till it reaches new all-time highs. Josh Rager, a popular analyst, recently tweeted. And is there supposed to be the tweet here? I never did see it when I was reading through this earlier. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go down here. The part that I really wanted to read towards the end, it's kind of like the overall analysis. Where is this actually going? So the piece ends by stating, Bitcoin's recent hash rate increase has also enabled the mining community to support and fuel the crypto ecosystem's inevitable growth. While the crypto space currently witnesses its peaks in terms of adoption, seasoned users hold on to their concerns surrounding Bitcoin's impending downfall. Wah, wah, wah. Scary times. All right. Analysts from the popular platforms like CNBC, however, were of the opinion that holders should see Bitcoin surge as positive and go long on their investments. And so I'm long on all this too. It's funny because I'm so bullish for the space in general, and I do believe that the asset class will be in the trillions. Of course, I, like everyone else, don't know exactly how everything's going to pan out, but I do keep wondering, with Bitcoin in particular, how long is it going to be able to maintain its status as the leader of the entire asset class if it doesn't at some point receive some substantial amount of real-world adoption, unless you buy into the idea that it can just be a store of value without having any other notable utility, just because it was the first cryptocurrency ever to exist. And I'm not so sure on that. I think about that with some amount of regularity. I keep going back to, if there are other cryptocurrencies out there that have utility that Bitcoin doesn't, just because of the nature of its technology. For instance, it's not the best use for remittances. That's why Ripple's building on top of the XRP ledger. So if it doesn't have any real utility out of, hey, humans can have a market value on it, I just keep thinking the coins that actually have utility, if you're investing, especially if you're just jumping in, say it's 5 or 10 years from now, and there are X number of coins that clearly have seemingly at some sort of staying power, and regardless of whether or not Bitcoin's still number one in market cap at that point, if you know that some cryptocurrencies are needed in order to have business models continue to function, which literally are, because there are new businesses forming that otherwise technologically could not exist. If you see that, would you not first put your money, if you're a long-term investor, if you're looking for a store value, would you not first put it in something like XRP, especially if it is globally adopted in a big way? as behind the scenes plumbing for the global like monetary infrastructure. And so I tend to think that money would go there first, and if that's the case, if you can do that with other coins where there seems to be more certainty they're going to have staying power, why would I question, will Bitcoin in fact be able to maintain its status as a store of value? And I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm not going to say that it's not, but I'm just sharing with you my concern about that, and I'm definitely a bit skeptical on that. But I welcome any other opinions on that. But next, this kind of ties in with the point that I just made, so I wanted to kind of share this with you. This is a tweet from Kieran Kelly, and he just tweeted out, it's just kind of a fun tweet. What do you think are the top reasons XRP will increase in price? And so I read through, and Nordican responded, building and adoption. Alex Cobb responded, bank custody of XRP and bank usage of XRP, a big name bank. And then Kieran responded, Alex, when you were mega wealthy through your XRP in your 20s, will you invite us old dudes on your yacht? And I think Alex is probably like, I don't know, he's like 19 at this point or something like that. But anyway, he responded, yes, you are very welcome on the future yacht. We'll probably just rent one for a day. Very financially responsible, Alex. I like it. But, and you go through these, and it seems like these people speaking within my fellow XRP community members here, everybody seems to get the big picture here, especially the ones that are long-term, which these people seem to be. And it's all about long-term adoption, building, and actual utility. And that's my stance as well. And I must say that without me seeing any sort of, beginning stages of real-world adoption with XRP, I never would have dove into this space with this level of interest. But I felt like I found something. I was like, wow, out of all these cryptos, because I remember when I joined in November of 2017, joined the world of crypto, and then I went through dozens and dozens of coins and research, and then I kept coming back to the same question, which is, why do you need the coin itself? Maybe some of these projects are fine, but why do they need a cryptocurrency coin attached? Because you can have blockchains without cryptocurrencies built in that don't need a native asset. And nobody could fundamentally answer that for like pretty much all of them, so I think that most of them are just garbage. But for XRP, in learning about it, I was like, whoa, holy cow, so this thing can actually be used. And that's why I dove in so much. I found it so intriguing. I just felt like the world didn't understand it yet. And I found this little gem that was just hiding out there in this gigantic amount of mud or dirt or whatever. And I feel like it's being appreciated, but only by some and at a slow pace. But I think that as the true value of what you can do with XRP, especially as developers like Ripple build on top, as that becomes more clear, that's why I see there's going to be ultimately this snowball effect of exponential growth. And that's pretty much what I'm waiting for. But yeah, if I didn't see this usage, all I would have done is I would have done what I did the first day I jumped into crypto. I would have bought those 3 coins that at the time were listed on Coinbase, and I would have stopped right there. The only reason that I'm still in this space on a daily basis and fascinating is because of XRP and because of real-world adoption. But I can tell you without that, not only would I not be here if XRP weren't in the process of being adopted, I wouldn't be anywhere in crypto because I wouldn't frankly care. I wouldn't have had the confidence, because it's the same concern I would have had with Bitcoin back then too. If had XRP not existed, I would have had the same concern with Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, but it doesn't do anything. Why are people going to have their confidence in it? But then once I found out that, okay, you can have cryptocurrencies with actual utility, XRP is the most important one in my mind, well, of course these are going to have staying power because you can build businesses around them that otherwise couldn't exist. So that all makes sense. So that's where I come from on that. Here's another thing that I teased at the beginning of this video. This is from Anthony Pompliano, co-founder of Morgan Creek Digital, and he tweeted out early this morning, man, 5:33 a.m. And I think he's out on the West Coast. Am I mistaken? I think he's on the West Coast. Maybe it's the East Coast. But that could be like 3:30 a.m. Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, Anthony Pompliano, he tweeted out, tomorrow I'm sending a letter to a group of investors that manage over $3 trillion in assets and are currently looking at Bitcoin and crypto. Want to read it? Subscribe today. And I'm not a subscriber of this. Maybe I actually will at some point. Maybe I should just, I don't know. I like what he writes. It's just, he's so forward-thinking in many ways and so not forward-thinking in other ways because he's all over. He gets like the big picture of crypto's here to stay, but he is a Bitcoin maximalist, which means if you're that, you're closed-minded, dude. Like, you don't understand that there are different attributes of different cryptos that are going to be desirable to different types of people, different businesses. So I don't know how you can't get that, but he doesn't, or he just disagrees with it, even if he's heard the concept before. But nonetheless, I still think he's a sharp guy. I think he's generally speaking forward-thinking and seems friendly. I've never seen him say anything negative, which is good. I hate it when people are just trolls in the space. So I'll never be one. But anyway, in reading this, the reason I brought this up is I wanted to share with you, look, And he look, actually, let me read a little further before I even get into what I was about to say here. Look, somebody responded, this is kind of a funny little gif here, in response to Anthony Pompliano's tweet. They wrote, "Tell them I'm ready to buy the top again." Because that's good. So the theory being, of course, if you buy now, this guy's going to buy the top and they'll make a profit. Okay, so it's a little joke. I will buy it. And then Anthony Pompliano responds, "We avoided the bear market," and he's referring to his firm here, no doubt, Morgan Creek Digital. "We avoided the bear market and bought the dip with the money they gave us previously." Okay, so that should instill some confidence, one would think, and that's pretty awesome. And so these people, he's got their ear. And, you know, if you're managing $3 trillion in assets, if you're a group of investors, I'm going to guess you're probably not dopey, you know, and so you've already apparently dipped your toes in the water of crypto into whatever degree and actually purchased it. And can you imagine, I don't know to what degree they put any money in, but these are just some of the people in charge of massive amounts of money, and they're listening. They're listening. Anthony is making that pretty clear via this tweet. So I think that's the coolest thing on the planet because, like I was saying yesterday in a video, the truth of the matter is there's so much money that can jump into the space. So much money, and if you have just a 0.5% or 1% or 2% or 5%, whatever, just these little percentages, it sounds not much in terms of percent, but in terms of dollars, that's what will get the asset class into the trillions, and it'll start to shake things out, and there will be some winners and many, many, many more losers within the crypto asset class. And many of the cryptocurrencies out there, of course, they are going to go the way of the dodo, as I say on this channel probably too frequently. That is the case. That is what's coming here. So I find it fascinating, and I want to know who these people are, because, you know, it was really cool that the first public pension fund to ever actually publicly announce that they're investing in crypto, like, they were vocal about it, and so we got to see that. But who are the rest of these the rest of these fund managers that are actually looking at this? But, you know, I see stuff like this, and then I think back to what I've been talking about over the last, you know, 1 or 2 days on a number of my videos. I haven't talked about it in depth in every video I've made over the last few days, but I brought it up a few times for a reason. I just keep seeing all the despair out there and negativity and people getting tired within the XRP community of the price not doing this or that, especially as Bitcoin's gone up throughout the calendar year of 2019. And I sit here looking at stuff like this, and I'm like, guys, big picture, come on. And if you look historically about, you know, XRP's price has behaved over the last 5 years, to me, that instills nothing but confidence. Like, this is not weird. What XRP's price is doing right now is historically very normal, and I know it's just a fact. XRP is the least correlated to Bitcoin price out of all top 10 cryptocurrencies. And there's a reason for that, which I've discussed recently, which I'm not going to rehash. But I look at all that, and I'm like, yep, everything's good. Last piece I want to cover with you, and this just has to do with me having the stupidest name in the entire XRP community, Moon Lambo, which I won't retell the whole story, but my girlfriend came up with it, and it was a joke, you know. And so this guy, I've never heard of him before, and he looks like he's definitely anti-XRP, but whatever, this is funny, so this exchange, so I thought I'd share it with you anyway. This guy named Paul McGowan. Maybe he's a Bitcoin maximalist, I don't know. But he tweets out, this is 12 hours ago, he tweeted out, "Give XRP cultists technical analysis, and they stare blankly at all the pretty lines." Okay, actually, that part's fair. Not the cult part, but I don't know technical analysis, as I've openly admitted here. So, okay, that part's fair. But anyway, and he continues, "Talk about moons and Lambos, and you have their full attention. Seriously, is it still 2010? Have we not moved on from 12-year-old talk? At least you'll be able to afford one of these." And he's got this dude. He's like in little Power Wheels. What is this, like a Lamborghini or something? I guess it is a Power Wheel Lamborghini. Looks like a little Gallardo, Lamborghini Gallardo. I don't know. I can't tell for sure. But anyway, it's got a little gift, this guy riding around, which is ridiculous. And so this guy, of course, knows nothing about me, no frame of reference, but I'm everything that is like a stereotype in his mind of the XRP community, just based on my name. And so I was like, I'm going to have fun with this. And so I responded to him, and because he has no idea my name's a joke and that I'm actually not an idiot. So I responded, "Win Moon, win Lambo." And of course, I didn't put the letter H in the word win. It's just W-E-N because, you know, XRP cultists are idiots, right? So I did that. Win Moon, win Lambo, which of course is absurd. I've always thought that's absurd, which is why I have the name. And then you scroll down here, and here's his response. I gotta admit, it's pretty funny. It's just a GIF, and you're just gonna have to look at this. It's look at this. It's one of those little what are they called? The little not Muppet dolls. What are they called? You're probably thinking the word and yelling at me right now for not knowing it. But anyway, this is from Team America, that movie from the South Park guys, the creators of South Park. And it's one of the main characters, and he's just vomiting. uncontrollably. So, oh yeah, I got a good laugh out of that. So I had to give him a like on that one, even if he hates XRP people, whatever. It was still funny. I'll give him that. Kudos to you, Paul McGowan. You're never going to see this, but I'm sure. But I had a good time with our exchange there, and I'll never forget it. All right, that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.